Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Peter here, and it's time for episode 21 of the PDG Advertising Podcast, and you are very welcome. So today on the PDG Advertising Podcast, we've got great stuff to share with you. The first thing is about tactics and strategy, and there is a difference. And I think a lot of the times whenever we're working, we're not even thinking about either, we're just doing stuff. And I guess that means that we're being very tactical. And I think that that's not a bad thing sometimes. But in order to really advance, I think we need to be more strategic in what we do. And how this came to a head today was I have two monitors in the office, one on my laptop and another Samsung curved screen monitor, and it's quite cool. And I have got into a bit of a rhythm with it where I put strategic things on the Samsung monitor and I put tactical things on the laptop monitor. Practical reasons too, because the laptop has got on it a keyboard attached to it, and the strategic bigger monitor doesn't. It's an extended display, so the mouse runs over both of them. So the strategic items are things like the overall task list of what we have to do, our goals for the week, things like that all live on that screen, and it's right in front of me all the time. And what I do is I look at it and I then move things over as I'm doing them to the smaller screen, to the tactical screen. I don't know if that's really mastering tactics versus strategy, but I think maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I was always in tactics. So now what I'm doing is I'm moving out of that and moving up into strategy and tactics. And maybe someday I'll look after just strategy. So that's been really, really good. But I think the first level is to actually think about it. If you don't know if you're doing tactics or strategy, or you would like to do strategy, or you would like to do tactics, but you just don't know where you are and what you're doing, the first step is to just think about it. Just think, what are these next tasks I have to do? Are they tactical or are they strategic? Because if you're a small business or any type of business, there has to be some level of, there must be some tactics involved in your day. But if it's all tactics and no strategy, I think you lose the foresight and you lose the ability to see ahead. And I think that's quite important to be able to predict what's going to happen, or try to predict what's going to happen. With good strategy, I think your tactics become better and your tactics become clearer. So that's something that's very important. And there'll be more things like that come out on the call, and more things like that come out. I call this a call because it feels like a call, but it's not. It's the podcast. There'll be more stuff like that comes out on the PDG Advertising Podcast. But that was the first thing that struck me today, that we've got to a level of balance of tactics and strategy rather than just all tactics. Some of the moves that we're making are a little bit more strategic now, and I'm very glad about that. So I was over the moon today. I had a text from a friend, Una Murphy from View Digital. If you're listening to this again, Una, I really appreciate you listening for the first time round. You're very kind about the voice and how it sounds and the content. I hope it gets better, and I hope it adds some value to you as we go forward. View Digital is Una's business, and it's a wonderful magazine for social issues and quality journalism about these issues, and getting messages out there about things that are really important in our local and UK society, and potentially a bit of global stuff in there as well. But very, very valuable and a wonderful cause, and I hope that we can do things in the future together with that. But yeah, I just really appreciate Una listening to it, so thank you. So down to some actual tactics, I suppose, on strategy. So an overall strategy of one of our customers is to dominate search volume for a certain keyword on Google Ads. And this customer is a health brand in Australia, and we're trying to dominate for a certain keyword on Google. So our process there is to find out monthly how many searches of that keyword there are. In this case, there are about 200,000 every month. And what we're going to try and do is try to get 200,000 impressions per month. I don't think we will ever get that amount, but that's what we're aiming towards so that we dominate that search keyword. So if you take a step back, the strategy is to get more people to the website, and the tactic that we're using is to be in front of the people that are searching for that keyword, and our adverts will come at the top of the search results, and to be in front of as many people as possible. And then when we're in front of them, as many people as possible, to start to work on our click-through rate, which will be affected by the text that we use in the advert and how we actually are engaging with people. Like if we have a spelling mistake in the text, if the text isn't appealing, that reduces the click-through rate as well. There are other factors like Google Quality Score, but we just need to focus first on getting in front of as many people as possible, and then we can work harder on trying to better the adverts that we're putting in front of those people. And that's the process that we're using. I will keep you guys updated as to how that is going, because there's so much noise online advertising. There's so much noise, and it's hard to see the wood from the trees at times, but that is one very clear strategy to tactic for this customer, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. So that, in conjunction with my AdWords specialist, we will work on that, and I'll update you as to how that goes. So when you do a good job in areas, you get more work to do in other areas with customers. And today we have been requested to support with some SEO work for a customer. And one of the first things that we're going to do is get an SEO audit conducted of the site. Now look, we're not experts in SEO, but I feel that we're experts in the customer journey, and SEO is definitely a part of that. And it's about time that we learned how to do it and how to do it well for customers. And with a critical eye, I think we will be an asset to this customer in that journey. But we're not going to try and do it ourselves. We're going to look for a partner that's able to do it and able to do a full audit of the site and able to help us out with getting that customer to where they need to be. And again, I will keep you updated on that journey. And if anybody that listens to the podcast wants to suggest anybody that can do an SEO audit or can do it themselves, that would be pretty cool. Get in touch, and who knows, we might be able to do something cool together. And yeah, but either way, I'll keep you updated as to what happens there. I want to return to what we were talking about, tactics and strategy today. Today, we were going through another Google Ads account. This is for a food brand in the US that we work with. And I was going through it with our specialist, and we need to be really real on this podcast. People have different communication styles. And I think I was talking before a few episodes ago, I think it was episode 17 or 18, where I was saying about, imagine if everybody on the team worked together under one goal with the consciousness of teamwork. So two things. One, that everybody knows the goal, and two, everybody is working together to get to the goal and wants to work together to get to the goal. And I applied that today in a conversation that we had about what we were doing, because everything started to get very confusing and very unclear. And I said, look, let's take that step back. What is our goal here? What are we trying to achieve? And whenever we were clear on that, things just started to melt away. Things just started to get so clear. You've no idea how different the conversation was after that. It made everything clearer, and it helped so much. So it only took me to say, let's take a step back and look at this goal, and let's see how we're going to work together to get there. Because over time, things get more complicated. New stuff comes in, especially in digital advertising. It's really complicated. You're dealing with so much. So stripping everything back and saying, what is the goal here? What are we trying to achieve? Is the thing that is going to help us become the best advertising agency that we can be. And that is going to be something quite special. So why I bring that up now is because it means that in business, in work, in life, in anything, I think goals are the most important thing that you can have. And if you don't have any, and you don't know what yours are, it's time to get some, and it's time to consider what you want to be, where you want to be, and how you can get there. Here's another interesting thing. We don't always meet the goals. We don't always meet those goals that we have for ourselves, and that's okay. because everything is a journey and everything is a trial and everything has an end and a start and an end. And along the way, you'll do things well and badly. But if you really want to get there, I think you'll get there. The only way you definitely won't get there is if you don't know where you want to go or where you're going. So take it back to that conversation today about Google AdWords. If we knew where we were going, how would we get there? And knowing where we were going really helped that. So that was something that was really important. Ooh, that was a pretty quick PDG Advertising Podcast. And look, this is Friday's episode, so the sun is shining behind me. In Belfast, there is a few people that I'm potentially going to head into town and meet. So maybe that's why the podcast is so quick today. But can you imagine, we're on episode 21. On Monday, we'll be on episode 22. I think we've got to the rhythm of not doing podcasts at the weekend and doing them every weekday. And goodness me, I am telling you, podcasting helps your processing the information throughout the day in this and going through it with you is amazing. So if you're listening, not only are you hearing about the journey, but you're also helping me with this journey, and I really appreciate that. So thank you. So have a wonderful day, weekend. I will be back on Monday with the 22nd episode of the PDG Advertising Podcast. You will blink and we will be at episode 100, and I can't wait. So have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll talk soon.